Good day everyone. Today, let me tell you about the girl I met at Bara Mall in Soweto. Her name was Precious. Ladies and gentlemen, if beauty was a contest, Precious would be the grand prize. She wasn't just beautiful, she was like the final chapter of beauty itself. The moment I met her was nothing short of monumental. I was standing in ShopRite, calculator in hand, making sure I didn't go over budget when I heard a soft hi from behind me. When I turned around, I saw her, and for a second, I honestly thought she was an angel. I froze. Her beauty hit me like a wave, and I struggled to even say a word. So she asked, "Can I borrow your calculator? I want to check my thoughts." Her voice was soft like music. I was still stunned and mesmerized, so she just gently took the calculator from my hands. After she used it, she smiled and said, "Thank you," bringing back the calculator. I couldn't let her walk away, so I grabbed her hand gently and said, "Can we shop together?" I didn't want to just shop with anyone. I wanted to shop with an angel. After that, we walked out of the store together, talking like we'd known each other forever. It turned out we were both the students at the University of Johannesburg, and surprisingly, we both lived in the same fourth residence. I don't know what happened, but before I knew it, we were like those lovebirds you see in movies. We did everything together, and people on campus even started calling her my race wife. We shared groceries, and she cooked while I just showed up to eat. It was a perfect setup, really. Our relationship felt like it was moving at lightning speed. Just a month after we met, we were practically inseparable. We even exchanged room keys. Following my bishop's teachings, I knew fornication was a sin, so I was committed to keeping things pure between us. Surprisingly, Precious never pushed that boundary either. We were happy just being together, no strings attached. Yet, deep down, I knew I was testing my limits, holding back every time I looked at her. Then came the day that changed everything. After church, I was walking back to the rest when I saw Precious with some guy. He was tall, and they were standing by his car. She looked upset, and I heard her say, "I had no choice." She cried, and the guy put his arm around her to comfort her. My heart sank. The way they were talking, the way he held her hand, it was like seeing another part of her that I didn't know. I told myself to trust her, even though doubt started creeping in. Later, when I got back to my room, everything was spotless, and dinner was waiting for me. Precious had left me a warm meal and even a cold drink. I ate in silence, unsure if I was tasting food or swallowing down my own jealousy. A while later, Precious walked in, smiling as if everything was fine. She hugged me and even kissed me, a first for us. I wanted to ask her about the guy, but the words just wouldn't come out. Days passed, and I let it slide, convincing myself it was nothing. Then one Monday, after a long day at Auckland Park, I came back to find Precious in my room, lying on my bed, waiting for me. She said she missed me and kissed me again, and this time, one thing led to another, and my bishop's words faded in my mind. We crossed the line. That night, something changed. Afterwards, Precious cried hard, her face buried in her hands. She kissed me, said goodbye, and left without another word. I didn't understand why. The next morning, I woke up feeling weak, almost feverish. Precious stopped by and asked if I was okay. I said yes, not wanting to worry her. But by the end of the day, I was shivering and could barely get out of bed. She came back, saw my condition, and broke down crying. She told me she had something to confess. "Doctor," she whispered, "I had an abortion 3 weeks ago." Those words hit me like a punch. I couldn't even process it. I lay down, too weak to speak, staring at the ceiling as my mind spun. She tried to explain, but her words were like distant echoes. I thought of my bishop's teachings, how I'd let them go. And now here I was, lying in bed, facing dire consequences that I didn't understand. Now, as I write this, I feel like I have no choice but to accept my fate. I don't want my family to know the real cause of my illness. It would break them. Maybe it's best they don't ever know. If there is any advice I can give, it's to hold fast to the teachings you believe in. Don't let them slip away, not even for a moment, because sometimes all it takes is one decision, one lapse in judgment, and everything can change. Fornication is a sin. There is no sugarcoating it. And to every girl out there, please think twice before you do things that hurt not only you but the people who love you.